Ready, cover. Advance the worm.
Artillery in
out the
18th century warfare serves a couple of different purposes. First and most obvious is that if you have anything large, like a building or a ship, fortress, something like that, small arms fire isn't going to do any good. It's not going to do anything in the way of damage that's appreciable. On the other hand, small artillery is used for what we might call fire support for infantry, meaning that instead of firing one solid ball, instead you can mount a large amount of musket balls that can be sprayed like a shotgun.
Basically what you're going to see every time we fire the gun is we have to quickly search or clean the gun before we can reload it, then load it, then fire.
Gunners, attention.
So to start
Hands
with,
on parade.
you'll take a worm,
Advance the
which is like a
worm.
large corkscrew, twist the
Worm
hook
out
on
the
towards
piece.
burning from the last powder bag, remove that debris,
Advance the
then you'll
sponge.
put down a damp sponge
Tend
that will
vent.
douse any sparks remaining in the barrel.
Sponge out the piece.
And while you're doing all that, another man has a cover on his thumb, plugging the vent at the back of the gun, which creates a vacuum. No air moving
Handle the
back and
charge.
forth. The gun should be safe, sparks should be extinguished. So now the next round is brought up,
Charge the piece. Ram
inserted
down the
into the
charge.
muzzle, rammed all the way down to the breech with a ram block, which is on the other end of the sponge. Then you'll open up the vent, withdraw a large brass pick,
Prime.
which goes through the vent, pierces the bag of powder, add a priming charge that connects the main charge to the outside of the gun, and then you'll set it off with a linstock, a large pole with
Give.
slow match, which is basically rope that's treated in gunpowder
Fire.
compound.
Gun fired! Ready, cover.
Touch the priming charge, the gun goes off,
Advance the worm.
and then you start the process all over again.
Handle the charge.
Artillery plays
Charge
a
the
role
pace.
in many Revolutionary War battles, but the most primary, of course, that anyone can think of is the Battle of Yorktown. Yorktown is the only strictly pure artillery fight you can find, pretty much. I mean, there is some small arms tactics that are involved near the end of the battle, but the primary emphasis of that battle is basically a slug match between Washington's artillery and Cornwallis's artillery, and who will come out on top. The problem with a lot of the other battles that take place in the Revolutionary War is that armies being mobile, it's difficult to get the artillery to where the fight is. So a lot of smaller field pieces tend to be involved, but the larger pieces are so difficult to move, you almost have to dare someone to go in front of them. Although the large artillery captures the imagination, the small artillery is what does most of the work.
Give. Fire. Ready, cover.